Hey, what's up guys? Martin here. In today's video, I wanted to share a little document I put together regarding river crossings here in Iceland. So if you're thinking of taking a trip to Iceland and you are thinking of renting a 4x4 vehicle because you want to hit the highlands and just want to have a nice experience driving through the F roads in Iceland, all the legal F roads you're able to drive on. You're going to eventually come across some F roads that have river crossings. And if you're not very familiar with river crossings, this situation can become kind of like I would say not scary, but you might be in a situation where if you never crossed the river and you're about to cross the river and you see the water getting deeper and deeper and deeper, you might feel some kind of anxiety or kind of you don't know what to do. You panic. You might go into a panic mode. So I wanted to share with you this little kind of before crossing a river here in Iceland, so you kind of get an idea beforehand. And I'll have a link to this document in my description so you can download it and kind of have an idea of river crossings and just feel a little bit more comfortable in what to do in these situations. So attention before crossing river. Crossing a river with a 4x4 vehicle requires careful planning and execution to avoid getting stuck or damaging your vehicle. Here's a list of considerations to keep in mind. Just so you know, when you rent a vehicle in Iceland, the majority, I think most of the rentals, even if you have insurance, if you do damage the bottom of the vehicle or you drain the engine with the water during the crossing, these things are not covered by the insurance, so you're going to end up paying a lot of money. So be very, very careful, okay? So let's start with number one. Check water depth. So know your vehicle's maximum wading depth, the maximum depth it can safely travel through water. Never exceed this limit. Use a stick or walk through the shallow parts to gauge the depth and current strength before crossing. So whatever vehicle you get, 4x4, you need to have like a rule of thumb of where the maximum I guess limit or height of the vehicle can go through. This is something that you should ask your rental company prior to inspecting the vehicle and letting them know that if I do cross a river, what's the wade level. So perhaps sometimes it could be something where you can measure your length of next to the vehicle, and then whatever the wade level or the limit is, you can measure it based on, like, let's say it goes up to your like hip or something, or your knee, and then stand next to the vehicle and then measure that. So if you see that the vehicle is crossing that limit or getting too deep, you know you're getting yourself into a little pickle there. So make sure to check that before even getting the vehicle wet. Number two, inspect the riverbed. So this is actually getting into the river. Ensure that the riverbed is firm, gravel, or rocky rather than muddy or sandy, which could cause the vehicle to sink or get stuck. Look out for hidden rocks, logs, or other obstacles that could damage your vehicle or cause it to get stuck. So this is where you kind of have to get out of the vehicle and walk the river a little bit, feel like I said, the river bed. Make sure you feel and notice what's in there, what's under the water. So then before the vehicle starts gripping into whatever is down there, you kind of get an idea of how to engage while driving into the river or crossing the river. Number three, evaluate the current. This is very important. Assess the strength of the current. If it's too strong, it can push your vehicle off course or even tip it over. Choose an angle that allows you to cross the current diagonally, which reduces the force of the water on your vehicle. Very important, never cross against the current. So if you see this river you're about to cross, you did steps 1, 2, and there is current, you want to kind of get a feel of that current. If it's too strong, if it's pushing you and you have doubts, you might want to pull back. I would say, if in doubt, if you start feeling very, very doubtful or uncertain, don't do it. Don't cross it. Some currents are really, really strong, and you think that the vehicle is heavy enough where nothing will happen, but you can never judge nature. It's very surprising. Okay, so if that current is super strong, it will lift the vehicle up and it will push it. Now, sometimes the current you see current, but it's not strong. The vehicle will have enough torque to cross that river. Again, if you're gonna go through the current and you feel and you evaluate and you said it's all good and you feel like it's crossable, use your best judgment and then go very, very slow and go in a diagonal route. Never try to go against the current, because the water might creep up into the hood and flood the engine. So be careful. Number 4, plan your route. Another very important feature. Identify the best entry and exit points. These should be gradual slopes with firm ground. Ensure the entire route is visible and there are no sharp drop-offs or deep holes. Engage low-range 4x4 and use a low gear to maintain control and power. So this is something that some of the rivers actually have, is where they show a line with little flags, triangular flags, or just a line of rope, which kind of indicates where the best possible route to cross the river is. So if you ever see that before you cross the river, that's an indication of that's where you want to get as close as possible while crossing the river. Okay. Also, when crossing the river, have the vehicle in, if you have the 4 low option, so 4x4 low, switch it to that, and always have it in the lowest gear. So first gear. You want to go as slow as you can, so the vehicle doesn't go crazy, or you start panicking and you hit the gas and you floor it and then you get stuck. You start burying yourself in there. So always want to have it in a 4x4 low gear option, and very, very slow. Plan your route and take that route very, very slowly. And number 5, cross with caution. This is where you have to literally use your best judgment after analyzing steps 1 through 4. So enter the water slowly and maintain a steady speed to create a bow wave, which can help keep water away from the engine. Don't stop in the middle of the river, as it can cause the vehicle to sink into the riverbed. Keep seatbelts off while crossing to allow for quick exit in case of an emergency, and keep the windows open. All right, so this is where you're about to cross the river. You're done assessing the riverbed. You check the current. You check you did the plan. You routed the plan, and now you're ready to cross over. And you're moving into the river. You're following your plan, and you want to maintain a steady speed. You want to keep that steady speed while you're driving. You're dipping in. You're starting to sink in. You can't panic in this situation, because a lot of people tend to panic very, very quickly as they see the water kind of like you're sinking into the river. You sometimes need to just kind of trust the vehicle in that sense, that it's gripping down there, and you want to keep that slow speed, or maintain that slow speed. If you panic and you hit the gas really, really fast, that's when you kind of like break all the steps you did in the beginning, and the car will start sinking into the riverbed. Also, you start moving fast, then water starts going into the hood, so you're creating all kinds of disruption in the river, and you're getting yourself into a bad situation. So keep these things in mind. Maintain a slow speed, and also don't forget about just take your seatbelt off and have the windows down, just in case of an emergency. If you have to get out of there, you're already set, and all you have to do is get out. Number 6, post-crossing check. So this is when, after you successfully cross the river. After crossing, stop and check the vehicle for any signs of water ingress. Pay attention to the brakes, which might be wet. Gently apply the brakes while driving to dry them out. So this is when you finally get out of the crossing. You want to perhaps just stay there for a few seconds while all the water drips down out from the vehicle. Just in case there's a lot of water inside under the car or somewhere in the car, you want to let that drain out. So stay there for a few seconds. Find that slope, that incline where the water can literally drain out from the back down, and then move out, and then start feeling the brakes. So then they slowly start adapting back to that dry position, so you're not driving with wet brakes. So I hope this kind of helps to get an idea of how it is to just cross rivers in Iceland. I'll leave the link to this document in the description below so you can download it. And again, just pay attention, use your best judgment, and be very, very careful while driving in Iceland and crossing rivers.